The NCAA released their transfer portal data on D2 student athletes for the first time ever. Here are a few quick takeaways. So just some, I guess, disclaimers before we kind of dive into this is that the transfer data for this covers the 2020 to 21 and the 2021 to 22 academic years. This is the first year the NCAA has published data from the Division II transfer portal, and only the second year the Division I transfer portal data has been made available as what they call an interactive dashboard. So basically, these dashboards were created in response to requests from the membership for more transparency around the portal and just kind of like education, I think, on it, because it's been such a, especially when it was first incepted, it was such a very foreign concept. So if you look at this tweet, these are all numbers that I kind of fact-checked as well. So these are all correct according to the document the NCAA published. First one right here. In Division II, 10,324 student athletes requested to be entered in the transfer portal, and a combined total of 3,033 successfully transferred to another NCAA program.
I'm no mathematician, but that's not great.
Holy shit, dude. That, I mean, I kind of want to get like a percentage on that, because I should have done this before, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it right now. So it was what? 3033 over 10,324. What's your guess?
30.
30? I mean, yeah, you're close. It's basically 29%. You round. It's 29%.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
So less than a third of the actual athletes who requested to be entered into the transfer portal successfully transferred to another NCAA program. Now, I think a caveat to that stat, NAIA.
True.
Right? So, I mean, you could have D3 or D2 guys, I think pretty common for them to transfer. That NAIA is a somewhat comparable level, depending on where you're at in the country, what league you're talking about. But
that can't be that big of a percentage.
Exactly.
Either.
That's not
maybe like 7 or 8% probably.
If that. I would say if that. Yeah.
And that's on the high end.
What the league here, it's the what's the NAIA conference right here? Why am I blanking on it? The Michigan and Wisconsin. It's like basically Michigan, Wisconsin.
I think Valley's in it. It's like something.
It's Wolverine something, I thought. I don't know. Either way, that's a pretty good NAIA conference. They got some good teams in there. But still, that stat is wild. Moving on to the next one here. 18% of Division II coaches reported high levels of stress related to the perceived need to recruit four-year transfers into their program. That's lower than I expected, actually. Kind of interesting. And I wonder, like, it's not really as much of a tangible stat, too, right? Like, high levels of stress. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
interesting one. But moving down here, you have some more stats on the D1 side of things. This says 67% of FBS, so football bull subdivision, the D1, like the bigger group of 5, Power 5 teams. Yes. 67% of FBS athletes and 58% of FCS, football championship subdivision athletes, entered with athletic aid from their departing schools. So over half of the guys at the D1 level are dudes that were on scholarship. And when you talk about FBS and FCS, they only deal in full scholarships.
Right.
So you're talking about guys that have a full scholarship to play football somewhere.
And they're betting on themselves to go somewhere else.
That's a much higher percentage than I was expecting.
Me too. I thought it'd be probably, I would say at least less than 50.
Yeah, dude.
That would have been my guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're talking about a guy who has a full scholarship to play somewhere. And I'm not advocating for if you think you can go play at a much more big time school, shit, we just saw a wide receiver from Hillsdale in the GMAC. He's going on scholarship to go play at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Things like that happen, but they're kind of few and far in between. Right? Because guys coming out of high school, you kind of know where they're going to end up.
Yeah.
So that number is very surprising, though, because you're talking about guys that have a full scholarship that have kind of living the dream, I think, of a lot of kids. And
100%.
It's not enough. And hey, more power to them. Just hopefully it works out for them, right? The last one here, 63% of FBS athletes and 44% of FCS athletes received athletic aid at their new NCAA school.
So it goes down.
Obviously. Again, that combined number is right about 50%.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then the rest of that money just gets reallocated, I guess, into recruiting and into maybe current guys in the roster. You have a couple, guys that earn a scholarship.
Yeah.
Because the money's got to go somewhere, right? It's kind of, what do you think about that? It's interesting.
I don't know. I think it's interesting, the fact that I just blanked on my thought, but that's bad.
I hear you. No, I'm just pulling up the article to find more Division II specific stuff. But it's just
I think it's
interesting
crazy
to me.
the amount of guys that, like, how much it went down that they received aid after they went to a new school. So think about the people that they transferred while having aid, and then they go somewhere else without aid. So is that like guys that are at, like, I'll give you an example. They're at a MAC school. They're at Buffalo, for example.
And we should preface this by all saying that this is not just football. So,
Okay, I'm just using football.
yeah,
for
we're using football as an example, but I just wanted to let you know, like, this is
Yeah.
across, I believe, all sports.
All NCAA
yeah,
sports.
all NCAA
Yeah.
sports.
I
So this
just-
is not just football. We're a football podcast. We're football guys. We talk football. We understand this could be cross country, track, softball,
Right.
wrestling, basketball, whatever it is. But keep going.
So is that a lot of guys that they're at a MAC school, whatever sport they play, and they think, well, I can go to even bigger. I can go Power 5, and they maybe get a PWO to a Power 5. Is that what a lot of that is? Like they're leaving thinking they can get a scholarship, and then they end up getting a PWO. That is just I want to know, like, more of the examples of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to hear, like, I think we'll have to get, like, some more specific stories, I think, from people kind of going through that process, because I just don't know enough really about it. And I think it's become much more straightforward, I think, right? Because you just have guys that you see on Twitter all the time, like, I've officially entered the transfer portal, and you get the email from the NCAA, your institution, saying that, Northern Michigan University has officially released you and entered your name into the portal, so you're visible to coaches, blah, blah, blah. I think it's become much more transparent, which is what they wanted. Because at first, it was like, what the hell is this? It was like how we're treating NIL now.
Yeah.
Is how we started with the transfer portal.